Hello and welcome to Secondary RTI Behavior 5-Phase Program Documentation in Skyward. Boy, that's a mouthful. Okay, if you see I am in Eduphoria right now, let's go ahead and go to Aware. Once I am in Aware, I'm going to click Students. Now I happen to know the student that we're going to use today. I happen to know her student ID number, so I'm going to put it in and I'm going to click on her. Now we have all of her information. I am going to go to Forms, and from Forms I'm going to add a form. Now we're going to go to RTI Behavior Forms, and this is secondary, so I'm going to click Secondary and I'm going to hit Add. Now I have my secondary RTI behavior form. Now I'm going to view it. Now we have our students' information, and it's all right here. And now we're going to start documenting what's been going on with this child's behavior. The first thing we need to do is we need to type in the person who is completing the form. And since it's me, Anita Clayton, I'm going to put my name there. The next we're going to go to Phase 1. Now let's just kind of discuss for a minute exactly what the 5 phases are with behavior. The 5-phase program is where a teacher, if they're struggling with a student, will go in and document each time the student has a behavior that is reoccurring. Say for instance, this student has a habit of talking out in class in a way that is impeding others' education. So we're going to kind of start documenting that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to document the date. And then we'll document the time, in other words, what class period you have this child, and then you're going to set that time. Notice we have August 22nd, 2016 at 12 p.m. Now I'm going to list the behaviors of the student to warrant the verbal correction. Notice this asterisk? That means this is a question that has to be answered or it won't be saved. And it's very important to save because you definitely don't want to repeat your work. So we're going to say right here that the student is talking out in class. Very short and sweet. We don't need to go into any great detail yet. So we've done that. Now we're still in Phase 1, and you're going to talk about when you're going to have the student-teacher dialogue conference. Now I know it's hard to have one right that day, but if you can't have it that day, definitely have it the next day, and maybe you'll have it at the same time that the class period starts, and so you save it. And so you're going to kind of talk with the student about the behavior and how the two of you can work to help them with their behavior. So I'm going to write here, teacher and student developed a plan to correct behavior. Okay, misspelled, so let's fix that. There we go. Now, I'm done with Phase 1, so I'm going to go up here and I'm going to save it. And now it's saved. And if we go to View Forms, there's our form. Okay, a couple weeks go by, the student is still struggling with this. So I'm ready to move it up to Phase 2. With Phase 2, it's a parent contact, so me, the teacher, I'm going to call the parent. I'm going to list the date, and I'm going to write a brief summary of that parent conference. Now we do understand that sometimes it's extremely difficult to get a parent by phone. You can tell right here phone call is preferred, but if email is the only way that you can communicate with the parent, it's okay. What we would like you to do is copy that email and paste it right in this area. And then you're going to talk about the interventions that you're setting up with Phase 2. Okay, we're still on Phase 2. We've contacted the parent. Now we're going to talk about the interventions that we're going to be putting in place. We have a few here that we can check. Cooling off time, seat change, behavior contract, rewards, and we even have a spot where you can mark others and what your other interventions are. You're going to save phase 2. Hopefully that corrects it. Sometimes it doesn't. If it doesn't, that's when our counselor starts getting involved in our 5-phase program. So what we do here is the counselor will come in, set the date and the time, write a brief summary of the student's behavior in order to warrant the detention and the counselor's visit. So not only do we have a counselor visit, but we have a detention. Sometimes that gets the kids' attention right away. Okay, phase 3 again, detention, counselor visit. You are going to talk about the summary of the counselor visit. After you've input all of that, you come back and you save. Next, the student's behavior is still continuing, and you're going to have to go to phase 4. Phase 4 is a parent conference. Of course, we want this parent conference, if at all possible, to be face-to-face. Again, we know that's extremely difficult, but we really do, if not face-to-face, we do need it to be per telephone so that we can really talk personally with the parents to let them know what's going on with their child. After we have our phase 4 parent conference, you save. Now our final phase is with the office referral, and that's where the administrator comes into the game here. They're going to be setting forth some disciplinary actions that may help really get the student's attention. And again, they're going to set the date, they're going to write what the behaviors are, they're also going to write what the disciplinary consequences are going to be. Now mind you, the administrator is probably going to know about this, or we at least hope, right when we get to at least the phase 3 category. Now, this student the behavior is talking out in class, being disrespectful, not following the rules. You don't want to wait until phase 5 to necessarily let that administrator know what's happening. Also, check with the other teachers. If the other teachers are having the exact same problem, then we immediately need to go to the administrator so we can sort of blend these 5 phases together with the teachers and make our office referral a little bit faster than just one teacher at a time. Let's let the students know that we're working as a team. So after you have all of this done, you're going to save, and then you're going to have documentation of what you have done to try to help this student correct the behavior. I hope that helps you with documentation. If you have any questions on documentation, please don't hesitate to get in touch with me. My number is 5640, or you can email me at anita.clayton@gcisd.net.